Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of the ABS show. You're watching Mina TV. Go ahead and subscribe to our channel. We'll give you this and more juiciness. And also after the show, go on our Instagram and follow us at the ABS show. Welcome back to another episode. Hey, y'all.
Hey.
How you guys feeling?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. Odera, so, there's been a lot of things going on. I'm talking about on our show in the comments. People are sad that you're leaving. Aww. You want to give us any update on
just watch me and learn. I like to keep things secret. So just watch me move.
All right.
Watch me move.
She has just a couple more shows left, and then it will be official. But we will definitely let you guys know. But what are we talking about today, Odera?
Okay, today we're gonna discuss sexual harassment in Africa, large epidemic or part of the culture. Now, I got this from Mary Remy Njoku. She's the wife of owner of Iroko TV, and she also produces. She's the head of Rock Production, Nollywood movie company. So she posted up something on her Instagram, and I'm gonna read it out for you guys. She said, "Dear Insta fam, I need your help again. What is the Nigerian definition of sexual harassment? I was standing with a female producer who was wearing leggings with a camel toe, and a very prominent male producer walked past and said, 'I dey see your vagina' in pidgin. If I hold am, I go fuck am tire." On the streets of Lagos, I was deeply offended. I wanted to say something, but the lady just said, "No mind am, the man sabi talk rubbish." And she immediately changed the topic like nothing happened. I couldn't cry more than the bereaved, but I am really sad. Biko, isn't this sexual harassment? Doesn't she know, or is it just accepted?
For me, why do I always have to go first? But I think for me, it is a form of sexual harassment. And the reason why she quickly moved on to the next topic is because it has become part of our culture. It's sad to say it, but it has. It's so normal now. We don't want to put a face on it. We don't want to call a spade. And it's also because we don't want to be how you say it. Let me take that.
Disrespectful.
No, because we don't want to be like, oh, why you always why you always complaining? I think is the word I was looking for. Why you always complaining? Because growing up, I've seen a lot of females sexually harassed in front of me, and they don't do anything about it. They just move on, to the next topic. They move on with their life, and they don't put a face on it. So.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Charlie, that sexual harassment is a norm in Africa at this point. It's normal, it's part of the everyday, day-to-day activities. Nobody reports it because really who are you going to report it to? Because most likely the person doing it is your boss and you don't want to lose your job, you don't want to seem annoying. It's quite normal, every CEO is sleeping with their secretary. I'm not sure if that happens in America or not, but it's just very, very normal in Africa for the boss to be sleeping with the secretary or other females around them. They go on business trips together and stuff like that. But it's normal. I don't think that people report it. I don't think people don't even see anything wrong with it anymore. It's kind of you've become numb to it because it's just what it is.
And because it happens so often. I think especially as a female in Africa, at every corner you're going from one form of sexual harassment to the other. I went to an all-girls secondary school, and we had a math teacher that used to do this in our hands, and not just me. We would talk about it, and everybody. We had different male teachers that would just do weird things that made us uncomfortable. As little as we were then, you grow up, and then you get to just the taxi park. When I was serving in Abuja, I remember cab guys, they'll be like, "Oh, look at your skin, look at your body. If I hold, there's so many. It's just part of your everyday life. At no point will you turn that you will not come across somebody that will say something inappropriate to you, or worse comes to worse, even try to drag you. When you go to the market, they drag my color, come. And it's why do you think you have a right to touch me?
The worst one, the one that I hate the most are the Uber drivers. Literally, if I've taken 10 Uber drivers in Ghana, the Uber drivers, I won't say the taxi drivers so much. So the taxi drivers, they're hot, they're sweating, there's no AC in their car, they don't have time to check you out. The Uber drivers now, if I've taken 10 Ubers in Ghana, 9 of them have flirted with me or said something inappropriate.
Right.
And it's just ridiculous, and it's just very annoying. Drive.
So what is the line then? What is the line between flirting and innocent flirting and then sexual harassment?
But why is my Uber driver flirting with me.
He's a
like
human.
this is
The fact that he's an Uber driver doesn't make him less of a human.
No,
being.
that's not the
Right?
reason why. It's not because he's an Uber driver. We're conducting business. Okay, when I get into your Uber, it is a business transaction.
Yeah, but
if you
do you
want
know
to
that
be
some
high or
clients-
friendly, cool. But flirting, it is unprofessional. It is the same as me coming to do your makeup and you flirt with me. It is
But you
unprofessional.
can meet people anywhere, though. You can
You know
meet
that
people
some
anywhere. You
clients-
can meet people at your job.
Yeah,
you
but
can meet people anywhere.
But
So
once there's business, once we are doing business and there's money involved, there should not be any flirting.
Yeah, but it's a
because what
two-way
if then
thing.
I decided that I'm not going to pay for the Uber because you're flirting with me? So why should I pay for the
it's
Uber?
a two-way thing. Some clients flirt with Uber drivers too. I have friends who drive Uber and they are giving testimonies of customers rubbing their hair, rubbing their ears, trying to flirt with them.
Now you
So what do
know
say about
me,
that?
and you
It's
know
a
I'm
two-way
not
thing.
gonna touch
because
no
they want
Uber
the free
driver.
ride.
It's
They
a
don't want
You
to
two-way
pay.
can't
thing.
get a free ride. Like it's already associated on your account. Like you're paying for it
No,
regardless.
but don't make it a one-sided thing about
Okay.
the Uber trying to flirt with his clients. Some clients
I'm
flirt
making
with
it
Uber
off
drivers
my
too.
experience.
But what I
Experience,
feel
but-
like the problem is in Africa is that the system and the culture has made all those things become so normal that we can go away with anything. There are no laws that are put in place
Yes.
to attack this act.
Yes.
So that's why everything just goes under the table.
Because you did mention about how people are not reporting it, but things are changing because according to afrocheck.org, in 2016 and 17, over 49,000 sexual offenses has been recorded only in South Africa. So people are
Wow.
coming out to report these cases. As we can see, there's a picture of this lady creating awareness.
Awareness, right.
But the thing is, they're not being supported. The authorities are not supporting, and who are these people in authorities? They are
The
these
same
men,
people that are
they're these same
abusing.
men that are sexually harassing these young women in our society. So, which is totally wrong. I don't know about you, but I'm adding child marriage into sexual harassment. I think it's so wrong. Yes, child marriages happen in a lot of our cultures, and in Somalia, actually, there's a law that a rapist can marry their victim. Yes.
What?
A rapist can walk around freely as long as they marry their victim. So here goes a young woman and walking around, get raped, but as long as I marry her at the end,
But why
it's
would
okay.
she?
not a
But why
case.
would she allow you to marry her after
It's
she
a
raped?
child. It's child marriages.
So her family allows
Wow.
her to marry her
Somalia.
rapist.
I mean, you raped my daughter now, so now marry her. You slept, like, basically, they look at it like
never heard
you had
that.
sex with her, now marry her. And they walk around freely. So there has to be laws in place for all of these things to change.
Interestingly enough, this year, Lagos State government opened up 4 new courts for sexual assault and related offenses, which
Okay.
include domestic violence, sexual harassment, and things like that, to increase the number of reports. To understand, if there's a court that handles it, they hope that it's going to encourage women to now come out and report when things happen, so they know that it will be tried in a court of law and everything. They don't have to hide about it. But I think part of the reason why a lot of females don't like to report about it, like you said, the complaining, are mostly because, you know, so much of the older generation and so much of even us amongst this generation has taken it as a normal thing. We expect, you know, to be stronger about it. I've come across women that are like, don't you know how to, you know, defend yourself in that type of thing? Don't you know how to get out of it? It's like, why does it have to lie on me as a female to get out of that situation? Why can't the man be held responsible and be told not to assault me in public or assault me full stop?
But they go ahead and blame the victims, though, and so that's another case.
That's
Because
wrong.
according to what I was reading, in Nigeria, 6 out of 10 children under 18 experience some kind of abuse, being it sexual and all of that, and they can't say anything. Because now your mother is going to blame you. Why did you wear that short skirt? Why did you wear that?
Why did you go there?
Why did you go
You too,
there?
what were
But you
you
have to
looking
understand
for
that
there?
we have to call these rapists. Because even in other countries where women wear jalabia head to toe, they still get
rape them.
harassed. You know, so we have to put laws in place to end it.
Laws, that's the solution. Laws, like you said, the courts that are being opened, that's a good step, but they need to do more about it. They have to put a particular huge burden on the people that rape, the people that assault, so that they can have a fine or something, or get them arrested. Something like what happens in America when people see that there's something really happening and there's fear involved in it. Now, when you are caught or you are reported, this is what happens to you. You lose all your wealth, you lose everything. Then I think people will
We
start.
need
believing.
one good example in Ghana, like an scapegoat.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not talking about hanging them, but like, this is it. If somebody does this to you, it's sexual harassment. You need to report it.
Yeah.
You know, that way we know, because now we have several examples in America, Cosby, Weinstein, or whatever. Yeah. So we have
Freeman.
examples, right? So we need an scapegoat in these countries.
So my issue is that Africans, Nigerians, Ghanaians, Africans are so, conscious of hiding this idea of sex, anything sexual. So why is it that sexual harassment and all this little sexual abuse happens when we're so ashamed of even coming out to say you have sex? Even people that are married are afraid of coming out to say that they have sex. Sex is such a taboo to talk about in public, but from time immemorial, we've always heard of all those uncles that are touching little girls, all those people, all those professors that are asking for sex. We hear about it everywhere, but we still don't want to talk about sex or confront the fact that people have sex.
And that's one of the main issues, because even like parents don't talk to their children about sex, explain to them what it is, tell them like, oh, you shouldn't allow anyone to touch you, anyone to have sex with you. So if the parents are not even educating the kids at an early age, how is the kid gonna know that a man telling you that, oh, look at your butt, is wrong if they've never even been spoken to about it? And that's definitely a big part of it. It's like
experience.
We try so hard to live this life that does not exist. Everyone is trying to cover up as if there's something wrong with sex. I mean, there's nothing wrong with sex. It's enjoyable on top of that, and it's also used to create beautiful children.
The question here is this an African culture now? Is this part of our culture now, do you think?
Well, I think it has been part of our culture even before Western education came in. Even in the old days, like, men take advantage of women. They just see women as a subordinate, as a tool. They see a woman as a tool that you can use whenever you want. So that impression has to change before things can get better. So thank God that Western education even came to throw more light on equality and women's rights. Because women didn't have a right back in the days.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. The woman was just to stay there, make babies. That's all they are known for. And the man goes out and do his own thing. And even if he goes out and sees another woman in the farm, he can take advantage of the woman and nothing is going to happen. So that's already a problem. So I think it's a norm in Africa.
I think it's because of what you're saying, they also didn't have a voice. So something bad happens to them, they cry in silence, they wipe their tears, they go back and do what they have to do. Nobody has really had a history of complaining fighting for anything.
In the African society, it's like it's all about the man, in my opinion. Like, everything is about the man. The man can have so many kids, he can marry as many as possible, and most of our mothers they hide it. They hide it. As long as he takes care, he financially takes care of the household, it's okay. And I think all these little things help to encourage sexual harassment in Africa. Even, what's that lady's name? The Delay Show. Every time she has a guest on, all she wants to talk about is sex.
Chelsea Handler.
The Ghanaian show.
Yeah, the Delay
she
Show.
Recently interviewed like this girl called Rosemond or something. How many people have you slept with to become famous?
Wow.
And that's all those things. I mean, I get it. Like, yes, you're trying to have like a great show. You want your people to watch your show, but all those things, it's like you're telling the upcoming actress, it's like, yeah, go ahead. I think the girl said 24 or something.
I'm mad she answered it.
So you're like telling these women, like, yeah, go ahead and like sleep with producers and to get there. But then it is sexual harassment when the producers are on set and saying these things. But these girls, I don't even think some people realize that it's sexual harassment, or what's being said to them or what's being done to them is sexual harassment, because it's just normal.
It also comes down to this idea of keeping the man happy in a home, right? Like, your parents teach you as a girl growing up, respect your man, be humble. This other word they use, submit. Submit is the word that they use, and it's like, oh, be submissive.
When
so
I'm not a
it's,
paper, why are you submitting?
I know. So when when you start putting that, those things in that child's head, they grow up and they take it as, oh, submission means anything you want, let me do it. Whether or not they agree to it, let me do it. Because my mom said, when I was getting married, the advice was to submit, to obey, to be humble. And these ladies don't know any better. So there's been marriages where people still rape their wives.
Yeah, it happens.
People still rape their wives.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that. There was something on Instagram about some producer coming out to say that all the people that know, there's no actor in Nollywood that's getting paid enough to buy all those houses and buy cars. That everybody is sleeping with somebody, that he's ready to challenge anybody to a TV debate to argue with him that any of these actresses are not sleeping with people to come up in their career or to fund their lifestyle. And it's just like she said, so like Mary Remy Njoku said in this, she's like, what exactly is the definition of sexual assault?
But question for you, in that case that she said, what was the lady, I mean, at that point, like,
was the
what does the
response
lady
after
do?
that?
Like, when a man says that to you and it's just you and another female, like, what do you do? Like, what are the steps to
You
take?
cut it down immediately. Don't speak to me like that. We're on a perfect way. Like you said, professionalism. Do you understand? Establish, hey, this is a set. We're at work. Can you not speak to me about my body? First of all, like, you don't even need to be in a professional
And you know
set
what they
to
will
talk to
say in
someone.
Africa if she said that? Oh, she doesn't respect. What is she doing here? She can't be on my set.
And
How
that's why
dare
they
you
don't
talk
speak
to
up.
And they fire them,
Yeah.
or they make life miserable for them. The same thing happens in the workplace. The same thing happens in the school. The school is even worse. Like the universities back home in
professors,
Nigeria and Africa, it's terrible. I had so many schoolmates that went through that same hell. Like the professor says, if you don't have sex with me or give me sexual favors, you are not going to graduate. I will make your life miserable in this school until you decide to leave without a certificate. That already is a problem. And these kids can't do anything. They go back, they talk to their peers say, oh, no, do what you have to do. You don't have a choice. So that's why it still falls back to law. They need to create a lot of law to protect those people that don't have a voice. Because at the end of the day, it's even the person on top of the whole food chain that is dealing with you. So who do you speak to?
And even with the laws, like, I don't even know if that's going to work because
help.
let's face it, like if the whole president of the company does it, they just pay their way out. So it all goes down to the government even paying the police officers more, giving them better resources, better benefits so that they can actually do their job. Because if a police officer in Ghana is getting paid 1,000 cedis a month and a big company CEO sexually harasses me and he's going to pay him 10,000 cedis, that's 10 times of what he's making every month.
That's why
do you
in
think
this
he's,
day and
do you think
age-
he's going to go through with the process?
Well,
he's not.
you're right.
The police stations in Ghana, some of them don't even have a computer to you know how you go to in America, there's a computer and you type up the police report and it goes in it. It doesn't. It's a piece of paper.
Yeah, the law.
So a
the
piece
law,
of paper can disappear at any point.
The law, to an extent, might not change things, but it will create awareness. But in this day and age, the best solution to speak out is social media.
Exactly. So that's what I want to say. There's a story recently about a girl in OAU that recorded it. She sent this recording to BBC. BBC picked up the story and they got the guy fired. So everybody's like, okay, he's
But
not
you
going
see, I
to
like
jail.
that. She went through BBC. She didn't even go through like an African
Yeah, because
media.
they will shut her down. They will even seize the phone.
And
And
seize
that's
the
all
old
we've
information.
sad.
This is something
It's
we've
sad.
known for years. Even since when my mom was in college, they've been doing this thing. My mom had to stay an extra year in university because of this same type of thing. And they're still doing it in 2018. So everybody knows that it's happening. There was a song about it, Mr. Lecturer.
Mr.
Do you
Lecturer.
understand? There was a whole song about it. Nobody has ever done anything to stop it. So of course she's not going to go to any African media. She's not going to tell anybody. Who can you
But that's
tell?
what I'm saying is that's the problem. It's the problem that there's an issue in our country and we can't solve it in our country and I have to reach out to somebody outside of my
Corruption.
country. That's ridiculous.
Corruption.
We have to do
Pretend
better
as
than
if
that.
It doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
We want to pretend as if it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal. This sexual harassment follows this victim, and then they also pass it down to their kids. Don't tell anybody. That's the way I dealt with it. Now, keep going. We have to call it a thing, and also create more awareness, like she's doing right now.
Social media.
Using social media, using whatever platform you have. If you live in a little village, I don't know, create a smoke signal, something to show that you're it's serious.
True.
Something to show that you are not going to take this anymore because it gotta stop.
So you still haven't answered my question. I still need to know why sex is a taboo for us to speak of and admit that we're having, as opposed to sexual abuse.
It's the mentality.
Why is this part of our culture? Like we can see throughout everything from child to adulthood. There's so many examples of sexual abuse, sexual assault everywhere. But you come to a public place and they're like, shh, don't talk about sex.
I know, like
I
you
can't
just said,
even-
it's the mentality.
It's the
But where's the
mentality of the
mentality
people.
coming from? It's coming from the religion, from the same religion that these white people introduced to us. That hey, don't have sex. Have sex. It's a sacred thing. What are you doing? They try to use religion.
To make us
I
not
don't
have a
know.
voice.
I don't know if it's religion. The honest truth, I don't know what it is, but it's definitely something because I agree with you. It's like people publicly don't want to talk about sex. It's almost like it's like a taboo.
And it's a part
as you're
of
saying,
our everyday
even if you're
life.
married, and I don't know why. The only thing I could think of is we've just, like you said, sex in Africa is like negative. So, and everybody's trying to be positive. Everybody's trying to be perfect. So it's like, I'm not gonna talk about it, but it's wrong. That mentality needs to change.
Think it's across the board, or just girls are not supposed to talk about it? Because guys do talk about it and they enjoy it, but then there's so many tribes where girls can't enjoy it. You just shut up, lay down and just enjoy it. You know what I mean?
That's the same thing we're talking about that has to do with the African mentality. They just believe that they have this mentality that the woman doesn't have a voice as much of a voice as a man.
Yeah.
Generally in all topics, every kind of discussion, shh, don't say this, shut up, do this, be submissive and all that. All that has to change first. Because I feel like even women, if we allow them speak, they're even going to make the society a better place because they have more things to say that will make the society have a balance.
And you dare not challenge it because they're going to tell you it's our culture. That's how it is. It comes down to it's our culture. So let me ask you, so how can we solve this issue? Sexual harassment, how can we solve? Where do you see this in the next 10 years? Do you think it's going to change? Should we introduce our own Me Too movement? What do you guys think?
Like you said, I think there should be not even just a scapegoat, several scapegoats. This OAU professor that just got sacked, that should be the beginning. They should start dropping them off like flies. By the time they can't pay their bills, they can't provide for their family, and their wives are angry at them that they're disgracing them outside, and their children are feeling embarrassed that they're disgracing them outside. Men will start to sit up when they know that there are repercussions for their actions. And I think it also, a lot of responsibility also lies on us as women to not give in to that nature of holding back. Oh, I don't want to complain. Oh, I don't want anybody to fire me. Sometimes to get things done, you have to take a stand. And if that means getting fired, then look at it as a sacrifice. You're doing it for so many more women that are going to come behind you. Somebody has to do something. We need like an extreme break from the norm, something pivotal that's going to change everything.
Yeah, one of my ideas is that something about cause and effect. We all know that there are certain things that women don't do in Africa because they feel they will be shamed, just like complaining about sexual harassment. How about if there are laws that will make these women that are victims of harassment benefits some kind of money or some kind of favors? If there's something that is going to, like a bigger picture for you as a woman, if you're being harassed, then it will be easy for women to come out and stand for themselves.
That's a good idea.
The whole Africa will be, all the women in Africa will be 100 times richer.
No, but you need to have evidence. You can't just come and say I was harassed. It has to be a case. They will follow up the case just like they do in America. If there are evidence, like the lady that the professor called, something like that, that girl now, if they had given her some kind of good benefits, for standing up as a woman and not doing that nonsense because she wants to be successful.
Listen, all I gotta say, I'm just glad that we have shows like this that we can be able to talk about subjects like this, because a lot of shows in Ghana don't talk about sexual harassment. So thank you guys for having this conversation with me. I'll throw it to the viewers. Let us know in the comments your thought on this topic. We appreciate you. We love you for watching. Until next time, you're watching the ABS show. This is Mina TV. Bye.
Thanks for watching, and if you liked this episode, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you next time.